Tobago, the wider where Nika yourself or wherever you may be. Lovely Wednesday. Welcome to Book Club Corner. Or a publisher industry stakeholder about literary arts, their written, just generally loving on books. And today, they have author Wiley, and Debbie-Ann is the author of Voyage to the Moon, first-time author. This is her debut children's book, and she's a Debbie-Ann.
Well, thank you.
Today, how did you public?
Well, it just
as it should be,
yes.
as it should be, people. Well, it's also nice to just relax and
Yes.
be quiet at home, right? And reflect on what republicanism, what that change to our constitution meant. And just for those out there who about, republicanism, that sounds very American. No, that's us. We're a republic, and it simply means that the Queen, when we the state, we now have a president who head of reflect the constitution. So there was a change from our constitution as it appeared and how it appeared for public. And similarly, welcome Barbados to the republic. Enjoy. Became a republic last year or year before.
Yes,
quite recently. So welcome Barbados to Republican state. We also joined Guyana and some other islands as a republic. So that's what it's mainly about. It gives you just another level of sovereignty, right? So that's why we celebrate and observe Republic Day. 24th of September is actually the first day that they met in the parliament, right after the change was made. So to those who were our change makers back in the day, and thank you to all of those who are holding the fires of a republic state burning for us and keeping our feet to the fire to make sure sovereign state. We finish Republic Day. We're heading out of September into 5 days we're going to be out of September. That's Literacy Month finished, right?
Yes.
And we're heading into Tourism Day, which is the 27th, right? That's 2 days from now.
Okay.
I think that'll be Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, 27 Tourism Days on Friday. And we also have coming up, that's Caribbean Folklore Month. And that was initiated by Caribbean Books Foundation and my good friend Marsha. So listen, if you have a book, spooky vibes, right? Scary. You have folklore characters in it. Get ready for Caribbean Month. Observe, talk into shedding light, writing stories of folklore characters, whether they be Papa Boa, Dwens.
Yes,
well, you're Jamaican by birth, right?
Yes.
She saw me put up the
and it's small.
Yeah, Debbie-Ann and I were in class together. That's Casey Garvey, my good friend in Jamaica. Hi, Casey. So yeah, it's a really we love it. Is there a folklore character, perhaps, that's unique to Jamaica that you don't hear us talking about in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, I don't know if it's folklore, so to speak, but Jamaica.
What is that?
That's spooky and scary. That was my most fearful one when I was growing up. a lot of cousins, and they always used to tease me when we had to trek from one grandparent house to my aunt's house, especially in the night. So that is where it will come to frighten you. You will hear chains dragging, and apparently it is that the rolling ball.
That sounds like our Larger Bless.
I guess.
Sometimes they talk about some chains. You hear the chains dragging. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, we have so many different characters in the Caribbean. I think somebody should catalog all our folklore characters. And they came from back in the day. We could make up new ones.
Yes, true.
we could have new ones. We don't only have to, live on the old ones. Papa Ward, Duen, Sukunya, Larger Bless. What is this
What's
one?
The one with the cow
Gang
foot?
Sarah. That is Larger Bless.
Oh, okay.
That's Miss Larger Bless herself, right? And Sukunya, who is the equivalent would be vampires.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
They suck on. She gets a bit of your blood to stay young.
Yeah.
To stay young and sweet. Right?
Okay.
There's so many. So get ready for Caribbean Folklore Month coming up in October. And also, if you're an author, remember Christmas is coming soon. It comes sooner than you think. 100 days of Christmas, as I say, is already gone. We're into 90-something days now. So get yourself ready. Christmas can account for almost half of your book sales for the entire year. So if you need to get restocked with your prints, if you need to get, your book restocked in bookstores, if you need to get them stocked in bookstores, they've never been, this is a great time to approach the bookstores and tell them, listen, I have a book coming out. I have a book already out. It's good with sales. People are asking for it. I would love to get a spot in your store, and we can do something for Christmas. This is a great time for that. But before we go any further, you know what we do? We sip and chat in Book Club Corner on a Wednesday. And cheers to you.
Cheers.
Miss Debbie-Ann Wiley. Thank you for being here with us. We're going on a quick break. Debbie-Ann and I are going to be getting into this really fresh and chilled coconut water today. And when we come back, we're going to be getting into Debbie's motivation about writing her children's book, Voyage to the Moon. You're going to love that book cover. See you in a few minutes.
Are you an architect or draftsman looking to upgrade your skills, or a beginner eager to master essential tools? ReCAD Labs has the solution. Our Revit Architecture Fundamental Tobago course is designed to boost your skills and confidence. Running from October 6th to November 17th, this course includes a live session on November 17th for hands-on learning. Learn from experts in our virtual classroom and stay ahead in the world of architecture. Visit recadlabs.com to enroll now and follow us on social media for updates.
Attention all talented individuals and groups in Tobago. This is your moment to shine. Showcase your skills in music, dance or drama at Tobago Star Quest. Prelim auditions are held every Sunday across various communities throughout Tobago. Seize the chance to win exciting prizes and demonstrate your talent. For more details, visit our Instagram page at tobago.star.quest or email tobagostarquest@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you there.
Stop. You don't have to sneak in. You don't have to sneak. Pigeon Point security, we have access pass. You don't have to sneak in.
What access pass is that?
The new Pigeon Point Breaking Beach access card. With this card, you can get free access to Pigeon Point, a free umbrella, and a free chair. So make sure you get your Pigeon Point access card.
I can get up?
Definitely. This is your access card, so you can now go into Pigeon Point.
Okay.
Guys, we outside in Pigeon Point sun and sun, and we enjoying it with we access cards. All social media links to Youth Voice and Pigeon Point would be tagged, and stay tuned for it.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Welcome back, viewers. Thank you for sticking with us. We know you just went and got a little snack, a little drink, and you're now back to getting Debbie's book, right? Debbie, this book, Voyage to the Moon. When I see this little, it sounds so cute. Could you listen? This little girl, she's so cute. I love the cover. How did you decide, one, the title, and two, what you wanted to do with the cover?
Okay. So first, the title. I wanted to get something that would embody what the story is about, and also to grab the reader. I didn't want it to be too long either, because I'm trying to appeal to children 3 to 7 years old. So I didn't want a long title, but I wanted an unfamiliar word, which is why I chose the word voyage, because not a lot of persons will say voyage. They'll say they're traveling somewhere. So that's why I chose that word and that title, directly straight to the point. In terms of the cover, it was many discussions with the illustrator. She's a godsend. Yes, the collaboration was excellent. I had a lot of fun working with her. It was smooth and seamless. We understood each other, and it just was dialogue back and forth. And she was the first one that spoke about doing this little girl. And when I saw it, I was like, yes, no change is necessary.
Where did you find Dara Jordan Brown?
So she's a friend of a friend. So, you have to get your network in when you're doing these kind of things. And from the first conversation, I said, yes, I found my illustrator. And it has been smooth sailing ever since.
Well, I think she did a fantastic job.
Yes, she did a fantastic job.
Really?
I always commend her when I see what, after our discussions, and then I see what she produces in terms of the artwork.
Yes.
It's always on point, always exactly what I want. That's why I say we understand each other very well. She always, she's able to bring.
I love that in the background there's a shuttle house.
Yes.
This is some of the architecture that we know in the Caribbean, right?
Exactly.
With the little Jules and the little by the gallery. You have that. I love that, Yes, we love modern architecture, but keeping the very traditional.
Yes, we didn't want it to be a city idea. Yeah.
And this house, I think anybody in the Caribbean sees this and say, oh,
yes,
very, very nostalgic for any island. You could call the name. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, I don't know.
You don't understand. Exactly.
Yeah, not familiar with that. Yeah. We're all going to be familiar with it. So I really like that. But Debbie-Ann, why this little girl out in the night by herself? What's she doing outside?
So I'm trying to embody her curiosity. She's always looking for adventure. So that is the spirit I try to embody.
Yeah.
And alone in the middle of the night is because when you go through the book, you will see that she's actually looking through her bedroom window at the moon every night. So she's completely fascinated with the moon. And this is when she's finally going to get to go to the moon.
I love this idea. This is very giving me Sesame Street and Ernie.
Yeah, yes.
I don't know if you remember that, right?
Yes.
Like to visit the moon and you see, all the things he's doing with the moon. I really love this story. Tell us about how you decided you wanted to publish a book. What was your motivation for writing? A lot of persons tell me, I write, but not a lot of persons are motivated to take it to the next step, which is to actually publish the book. So how did you decide to do that? What was your impetus?
Okay, well, you hear this a lot about things that reawakened during our COVID era when we were just at home. So we get to look into our passions and our desires that kind of have been on a back burner because of basically life. So this is one of them that happened. This is what happened to me during that period. I always had the idea of writing children's stories. To get to the next level of publishing it happened during COVID when I started to read a lot more to my children because they were out of school.
Yeah.
So the reading became way more time spent reading with them, looking for children books to read with them and these kind of things here and there. Interpretation of the stories that we're reading. So that is how I got motivated to think, you know what, I'll put my book out there too. I'm not just gonna let it, sit on my computer or well, actually I write first, pen and paper. I'm a writer.
Listen,
not a typer.
I like that. I'm a writer, not a typer. So listen, so exact and to the point, because at the end of the day, I am finding that a lot of writers are telling me, I need that. You see that pen and paper? Pen and paper, pencil and paper, crayon and anything and paper. And science tells us it activates a particular part of your brain, right? Handwriting itself. It may well be the doorway to extreme creativity, right? So sometimes you find yourself in writer's block. Maybe it's because you're on that computer, right? Maybe it's because you're on that typewriter. So if you're having writer's block and you have been typing, maybe you should go back to anything on paper, right? And see if that helps. So you were writing at home and you decided,
because of seeing what I've been reading, and I'm like, but my book is similar. I can put this out there. It's not any less than anything that so that is basically what, because it's like almost I did research by going
reading,
through so many children books that I've read.
A lot of times people don't realize that in order to write a good book, you have to read 100 books or more, right? It really is good research. If you're going to write a young adult book and you're not reading it to steal people's ideas, that's not why we read. We're reading because, yes, we get inspired, but when you see what's on offer, sometimes it really does give you a little confidence.
That's exactly what it did to me.
And I'm glad to hear that. What were some of the books you found in your reading to your children that you would recommend in terms of, these are Caribbean-based books? I mean, yes, of course, get Voyage to the Moon. Put this on your list. But what are some of the books that are out there that you felt was a good fit for your household in terms of reading to your children and stuff like that?
No, that was the difficulty though, because during COVID, we locked in. You couldn't actually go out like to the library or anything like that to get that. So it was basically e-reading all the way, just going online. And through that, you actually didn't get a lot of Caribbean books in the catalog. The Caribbean books were some that we have had before that we were able to read. So
where did you get your ebooks from, like Amazon?
Amazon, Kindle.
You see, that's why I tell people, go to Digital Canopy. Digital Canopy is an online, kind of Amazon-like, right? Kindle-like reading area online for Caribbean books, for Caribbean authors. Obviously, they don't restrict who wants to come on the platform, but they really do encourage Caribbean authors to upload your books, get them ready for the reading public, and sell your books. And the good thing about Digital Canopy, and I will never stop singing about Digital Canopy because it's ours, right? Amazon is not ours. They also have the ability, once you're an author who has put your book or a publisher, you can do a subscription. So a person, they do it particularly for textbooks, but you need not buy a book outright. So like you could rent it for a little while. Nice, right?
Yes, yes.
And then you know, it's a fraction of the cost, and I think that's really important because a lot of times we buy books and we just
have them there.
Well, I don't read my 100 books now, my million books. Look, them all sit down here on a bookshelf. Now what?
Yeah.
So yes, we can definitely do secondhand sales, but you know, we want to keep the environment in good check, and we don't want to only be, you know, making more paper. We don't want to be putting more paper out there. So for those who are doing online ebooks, you know, EPUB and stuff, consider Digital Canopy. It's a really good place and lots of Caribbean content, and you get your sales put straight to your bank account, your local bank account. So no query about no PayPal and no they get a GMMB account and how I'll get. We don't have none of that. You go straight to PayPal from Amazon and come to Digital Canopy straight to your local bank account, right? Enough of that. I want to find out something from your book, Debbie. So when you brought this book in and I saw this little curious little girl out by herself traveling to the moon, I said, you know, this story feels like it was inspired from somewhere. Where did this idea of going to the moon come from?
So I think that, well, when you write, sometimes you pull back from your own childhood. And that has been, I would say that I've always been fascinated. So I'm kind of embodied in this little girl by the moon. Yes.
So you've written about yourself?
Well, to some extent, in terms of the desire. But when I was younger, I was a part of, in Jamaica, we call it the speech club or the speech band. We did national rehearsing poetry in our primary schools. And one of the first poems we were taught to recite just to help us with our craft was The Moon by R.L. Stevenson.
Oh my God.
So I've always been like drawn to it from then. And that's where I guess my debut book went back to a place where I'm comfortable. And that's where,
Look at that. Look, so, you know, the things we do in our youth and our childhood, sometimes is what inspire us to do things. You know, parents, you heard that, right? Don't go putting your children, stick them in a house and don't give them nothing to do. These are the things they'll draw on to inspire them as they get older. So join a club, right? If the school has guides, brownies, scouts, maybe cadets, I don't know what it might be for you. You all had what you call it, young what?
Speech club, we call it.
Right.
But it's similar to the
speech band.
It's similar, but without the music.
Here. You see, we have speech band here in Tobago, right? Very popular and stuff. I mean, we do it in Trinidad too, but very, very popular in Tobago. And perhaps you could start, you know, I'm giving somebody inspiration to start a speech band club in a school, right? So join your children to different things, and if perhaps in your community there isn't much going on, this is your opportunity and your motivation to start something for the children now so that they have something later on to inspire them to write their own books and to do their own things. So I love that. So when we talk about children's books and the material out there for Caribbean children, we know for sure that there is a dearth, right? There's a lack of enough content for children. Growing up, what type of literature inspired you? Was it Caribbean literature, or did you like myself find that there was so much literature out there with a British background in it?
Well, I guess maybe because of the speech club that I was in, I did a lot of Louise Bennett Coverley. That was one of our go-to poets that we would do their poems for our competitions. So there's a lot of reading through in poetry is what I did growing up. Now, you know, I like to read contemporary romance, basically. I do a lot of my own reading is on that. I don't really, I don't think I've read any Caribbean one so far in that genre. But definitely in the poetry section, there are a lot of wonderful poets out there from the Caribbean.
I'd say, I think, and some, we underrate them.
Yeah.
And one of the underrated greats of Tobago would be Eric Roach.
Yeah.
He is a poet from Tobago, has written over almost 1,000 poems, I think it is. I encourage you today, if you're out there and you're looking for some good works, I don't know where you'd get it, but use the Googler, right? The Googler will tell you everything you need to know. Go on the Googler, check the Googler, and ask for Eric Roach and see what his works are, and delve into your Caribbean authors. You don't only have to delve into the Derek Walcotts and the Earl Lovelaces and the Selvons and all of that, but we can get into a lot more variety. Check some female authors as well. There's Merle Hodge, right? There's that writer Nobesi from Tobago, and she won several awards. Even last year earlier this year she won something as well, right? So big up to Nobesi there in Canada, right? But a Tobago poet, she's doing some good work. We have a lot of good contemporary writers. We have this guy Kevin Jarrett from Trinidad. He won an award this year as well. He was at Bocas, and they're going to, I think they're doing a whole Europe tour. So, if you're looking for content from authors, please check out our local authors. There's Marissa Gomez. She is with Caribbean Books Foundation. She has a lot of children's book as well. But before we go on a break, we're going to take a little sip. Cheers again.
Cheers.
Yes, because we like to sit down and lime and talk about books on Book Club Corner. Listen, go get a snack. Come right back. Don't go far. Get a drink. Get your nice, comfortable spot. And let's come back talking to Debbie Ann Wiley about her book, Voyage to the Moon. See you in a few.
Don't tell me about work I out on the road today. Don't tell me about work I out on the road today. Don't tell me about work I out on the road today.
I'm so relieved Javel gave me this money. Now I could enjoy the holidays with my family and not have to worry about monies for bags, books and shoes.
Javel? Who is Javel? She could give me some money too?
Javel is the July-August vacation education loan at Bethel Credit Union. Up to $20,000 to help with all additional expenses during this July-August.
Yes, you heard right. Call the Bethel Credit Union and ask for Javel. She'd hook you up with the money to take care of all your additional expenses this holiday season. Open to new members too. Get up to $20,000 and have a worry-free holiday with Javel. Call 639-8226 or 631-1336 or message us on Facebook for more information.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Like this. Don't worry, my wife will fuck it up. Make me happy whenever you fuck it. So me be very hard, fiesta.
This one is for the people and them who don't care what nobody else have to say about them.
Them none of cash. What you have, what you know about.
It's too early for that.
You want the good all. Say you good enough, nine. Girl, go the club, girl, right. Nice.
Who's the one friend can drink all the alcohol no matter what?
Put a bottle and spoon and a cup in my hand and a winding up on me man.
Dream.
Go in. You have to stop it. You have to stop it.
Welcome to my kitchen, guys.
You have to stop it again.
That's it. That's the intro. Let's do it one more time, right?
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and low, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and low. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Welcome back. I hope you all are, having a great time enjoying this conversation we're having with Miss Debbie Ann Wiley, author of Voyage to the Moon. Listen, I'm having a good time. I don't know what you're doing out there, right? Probably some of y'all didn't even go to work today, right? Because yesterday was our holidays. You know how we like it. We like 2 back-to-back holidays. So some of y'all, I know y'all stay home and you're watching Book Club Corner. Thank you for being here. Listen, what's next for you? You have this book out, Voyage to the Moon.
Yes.
And we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
And we're so happy that you've become a published author.
Yes.
But what's next for Debbie Ann Wiley?
Well, 2 things. I try to make small short-term goals and long-term goals. So in the short term, I hope to get my book in bookstores. That's the next targets I have before the year ends. I have a print run that I'm trying to get sorted out so that I could facilitate that, and
What
also
is that?
the
What is a
libraries.
print run?
Getting a certain number of copies printed so that I could supply bookstores and
Yeah.
libraries,
Okay.
local libraries so
Yeah.
far with the book. So that's my short-term aim. Long-term, I have the idea of releasing a book every year.
Oh, very good.
So I hope that I can do that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my objective.
Are we going to have more voyages to different
Well,
places?
not voyages to different places, but
Yeah.
there will be a science element in each of my book. They will
Right.
surround some kind of element in nature, because I also want the readers, the children who read my book, to get interested in science. As a person, a woman in STEM myself, I always like to try to encourage and foster that early childhood STEM learning, because we have always been the minority in that field. You go into your classrooms and you're like a handful of girls and then boys all around. So I want the boys to stay in STEM as well, but to get some more girls interested as well.
What we want is balance.
Balance, exactly.
We want equity, equality, and balance,
Yes.
right? We don't want nobody to leave.
Yes.
We want more girls to come in.
Yes, exactly.
I
And
love
not to
it.
be afraid to come in.
Come in and stay in too, because that's the next thing. We know that there are a lot of fields where there are not enough female representation.
Yeah.
And when they do come, sometimes due to all their bad behavior, man. Right? Sometimes they're not behaving all yourself, right? Everything is a laugh and a giggle.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with laughing and giggling, is what are they laughing and giggling about, okay? Right? Making fun of people and making them feel they don't fit in and they have no right to be here. They're the oddball out. please be more welcoming. Remember, you have a mother, you have aunts, and if you don't have aunts, maybe you have sisters. And if you don't have sisters, remember, we are a community of human beings, right? And we want to make sure there is good and responsible spaces for all our other brothers and sisters.
Yes.
We are a community, right? So I'm just putting it out there. When our women enter, whether it's politics, whether it's STEM or STEAM, and that is the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields, please, those who are already there, be welcoming. Give them some space, help them if they need, let them understand how the ropes, right? If you already know what's going on, open the door, hold it open for us. We love that.
Yes.
You know, and that's something I think we need to have conversations about.
Yes.
We always have the conversations about women, go in there, come in there, represent. But when we go in there, sometimes, you know, it's a scary space. They don't treat us nicely. And out back the door, we back out and say, you know, I don't think it's a place for me. That's not the way to go. And research has taught us that making sure women do not participate costs countries money. It costs countries money. Women contribute to the economy. So if you are keeping women out of spaces, STEM and STEAM, politics, sports, whatever it might be, keep in mind you're costing your country money, revenue, and you are making the economy very small. Right? So just throwing it out there.
Yes.
Thanks for that, Debbie Ann. STEM and STEAM, that's what we're looking for. So how did you get into STEM?
Well, I've always been drawn to science from in primary school. So that's what I did in high school. I did the sciences in CXC, A-levels, and then engineering in UE.
Wow. So you're an engineer?
Well, I don't consider myself an engineer because I don't have the traditional engineering degree. It's surveying and land management and land information.
Very important.
Yes, and then I do.
So you're an engineer?
Yes, I'm an engineer.
Thank you. Don't be afraid to say it.
But we're the ones that they always gray area about. But I agree.
But
so we're now the geomatic engineers. That's our title.
Geomatic. What
engineers.
is that?
That is relating to land. That's the term for all surveying, land information, land management, geomatic engineers.
So you're very important to Tobago. I'm so serious. You laugh, but we have a problem here in Tobago where people don't have the deeds.
Yes.
They don't know where their land stops. A lot of people, they don't know where the land starts. They don't have a deed, and they want to be able to map out where they should be.
Yes.
Right? So that your neighbors don't encroach.
Yes. All of that.
Yeah, that's for somebody out there. So your neighbors don't come and put a cesspit on your land.
Okay.
Yeah, because they don't know where the land stops.
Yeah. That sounds like a legal battle.
Yeah, but if you had somebody like you come set up, you know, map out the land and you put your state.
It is
I mean, come on.
Ongoing conversation, the land policy and these things, especially for the land tenure situation in Tobago with the family lands.
And now we have property tax come to mess up.
Property tax.
How much tax all they want? But you all just heard it. Debbie Ann is not just a former mathematics educator and a current book author of children's books. She is also
geomatic
engineer. Paps. Geomatic engineer. So she could do your surveying, right? So check out Debbie Ann Wiley. Properly skilled, multifaceted, multi-hyphenate, as you say. I love it. We're going on a quick break, and when we come back, Debbie's going to be reading to us.
Yes.
It's the best part of Book Club Corner. I love it. So we're going on a quick break, people, and when we come back, Debbie's going to be reading from Voyage to the Moon, and when we get into you gotta get comfortable. You gotta have your little snack. I don't know, some of you like catch, some of you like preserved mango like myself. Some of you like, you know, a little pastry, wherever your desire is. Have something, get your drink, whether it's water or a little wine or a little coconut water. Some people like a nice cup of hot tea or coffee. And come right back. We're going to be reading aloud Voyage to the Moon. See you in a few minutes.
Attention members, now is your chance to double or even triple your dividend payment with no increase in your existing loan payment. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to boost your dividends effectively. Whether you're planning a vacation or simply looking to maximize your savings, we've got you covered. Call us today at 639-8226 or 631-1336. Message us on Facebook for more information. Hurry, this offer won't last long. Bethel Credit Union, because we see you at BCU.
Oh yeah! I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Embark on an adventure to the greatest little island on the planet. Tobago invites you to ritual, revelry, and release.
Whining in the Bago sun, having Bago fun in Bago drinking rum. We go jump up and carry on.
From October 25th to the 27th, 2024, experience the energetic vibe, the vibrant colors, and the unforgettable spirit of the Tobago Carnival.
Down here in Tobago. In Tobago.
Whether you're tripping down the road or marveling at the beauty and creativity of our artisans, Tobago Carnival is an adventure.
I said I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for Carnival to come. So I call all my friends, making my plans for the Tobago Carnival fun.
Join us for ritual, revelry, and release. Tobago Carnival 2024, where every moment is memorable.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Welcome back to Book Club Corner, where every Wednesday we chat with local authors, publishing industry, stakeholders about the literary arts, about books. And today we have with us the amazing Debbie Ann Wiley first-time children's book author, and Voyage to the Moon is her debut book, and she's going to be reading to us. Listen, I'm getting comfy. I don't know what y'all are doing there, but I'm getting comfy. I have my coconut water. I have my own book to follow up if I want, and we are going to be listening to Debbie Ann Wiley reading for us today.
So, Voyage to the Moon, written by Debbie Ann Wiley, illustrated by Dara Jordan Brown. I'm on my voyage to the moon. Hooray! I will see you soon. It was my wish since a bug to give the moon a big, big hug. I smile as I focus. I feel proud. I ascend and I zoom past the cloud. Next, the atmosphere I breach, the moon is now within my reach. You, stop, right over there. How dare you come so near? Why aren't you fearful of me? What is it? Do you really see? And you'll have to get the book to continue. Find out what happens next.
So Mr. Moon isn't pleased.
Mr. Moon isn't pleased.
Yeah, where you going, little girl? Where you think you're going, right?
Yeah, where are you going?
I love that. Debbie, where can readers get your book?
So right now it is available on Amazon.com, all marketplaces, and also BarnesandNobles.com online. And you can also, for local users, send me an email, debbieannwiley@gmail.com, and I will get a book to you.
Very good. And what about if they're outside of Trinidad and Tobago? How are they going to get your book, girl?
If they don't want to use Amazon.com or Barnes & Noble, yes, I will still ship it to you.
Come on, there's no excuse. She's going to ship this book to you. Whether she has to ship it to the moon, right? Whether she's shipping it in the Caribbean, you're going to get your book.
Yeah.
Get that book. Listen, thank you so much for that, Debbie. That was such a pleasant little quick read.
Yes.
We are heading into my second favorite time, the Green Room, where we provide insights for authors and publishers alike. And today we'll be talking about how do I market my children's book. And despite popular belief, children do have a say in what is purchased. Get a physical mascot for your book, quote unquote a toy, and market it in places children frequent, such as supermarkets. Target the times that they watch TV. I was reading a piece of research. Somebody put something forward and they were saying, how to market children's books. And they say, well, children don't buy. So, you have to go to their parents. And I said, listen, when I go to the supermarket and I hear a screaming child talking about, why I can't get this toy or why I can't get this sweetie, I don't see no parents trying to buy it.
Yeah.
I always see the children advocating for themselves very loudly and strenuously, I might add. Right? I've never seen a parent yet decide to buy a blue chubby. They're just trying screaming to get. So my suggestion is always to introduce the children to these things, and you have to go where they are. You can have your if you do a mascot, for instance, for Debbie Ann's book with Voyage to the Moon, this little girl would make a perfect plush toy, right? And if Debbie Ann was to do that, get a plush toy of this little girl, you put it in the supermarket. A nice little display right by the snacks, by the cashier, right where they have to stand and wait a while.
Yeah.
You put that toy out there, and let me tell you, have you ever seen a parent saying, I know who Dora is? Or they all want, who is this Dora y'all keep telling me about? Why?
Yeah.
Because Dora is on TV when they're watching it, right? When they're home from school. And Dora is on TV during Christmas, Sesame Street time.
Yeah.
So I say get an ad in there. If you're doing something, do it during the time children watch TV. So when they now come home from school, Sesame Street time, peak time, or if there is an age group, they're not in school yet, Target, Sesame Street, like in the morning. Programs like Book Club Corner when they home sit down with their mommy and their daddy just chilling, right? Because they're not in preschool, they're not in kindergarten, they're just home. These are the times when children are watching TV. And then you hear them saying, Mommy, when I get in Voyage to the Moon, I see somebody playing with a Voyage. What is this little girl's name? What's her name?
Ella.
I see somebody playing with a Ella. I want Ella too. When I could get Ella, and that's how you get them. The parents, listen, parents know you buy things for children, and once they're not interested, it's in a corner whole year.
Yeah.
Right? So just putting it to you. My girlfriend, when her son turned 1, she was like, oh, I have to buy all these nice things for him. She bought 101 gifts. No exaggeration. That child played with the box the gift came in for the whole year. It wasn't what he was asking for.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. You want your children crying and, Mommy, Daddy, buy this for me. So Target, the supermarkets, right? What they call gondolas and displays right by the cashiers. So the snacks, some nice little plush toys, some nice little displays with the cover of your book, and perhaps what they call a standee, so a cutout, right? You could get a cutout of the character and put it somewhere where children are going to be passing. Maybe you could do a cutout on a standee or a toy in the library in the school, right? Go and do a reading and carry one of the toys and give them out.
Yeah.
Make them buy a book. That's it for me. Tell us, Debbie, in terms of how you market your book, how are you experiencing the buyers, whether it's children or whether it's parents? What is that experience like for you, and how do you market your book?
Yeah. So right now I'm experiencing the parents, but I have listened to what you said, and it is true, going to get the children is also an important element. So the author visits are very important. I've done one so far, and that is the aim that is the way I will try to get in to get to the children, by doing the author visits. That's a very good marketing tool. And also there can be like story times in libraries, or even some organizations have story times for kids, some kind of book club to some effect, and you're going to there to do a reading is also a good marketing tool. So those are things that I'm trying to get into. Reaching out to people to get those things organized, to try to reach the child, as you say.
You have to go where the children are. But you have to go where your target market is.
Yes, exactly.
And if your target market is your child, children are in schools, they're in preschools, right? You could go to the preschools and do a reading. So I really like that idea that you want to go and do some readings in the school, you know, read it. And listen, these teachers, they work hard. They're tired. They don't want to have to, on top of that, maybe reading as well. So I am sure they would love to have, right, a parent, if you already have children in the school, or a niece or a nephew or a neighbor at that school, you could volunteer for some story time, right? You go, I don't know what time story time is at school, but maybe it's a Friday evening. Maybe it's a Wednesday evening. I don't know. You give them an hour and you go there and you read in all the voices for them, right? You know, they love that. They love when you read in the voices and all of that. So, and perhaps, you know what I love about this book? This little device here behind Ella. This device behind Ella, anybody recognizes this device? This is a spaceship.
Yes, she's also an crafty. She good with her hands.
Listen, she's an engineer.
She's an engineer. She made her own.
Exactly. So you don't only have reading, but you could probably go teach them how to make their own little spaceship to the moon as well. So just putting it out there, authors, you know, be versatile, be flexible. You can go and do craft time with them as well, and make something perhaps from your story or from your book, right? It's a wonderful way to introduce your book to the children. In terms of your publishing, you're self-published.
Yes, I'm self-published.
How did you find that journey? Was it something easy? What would you recommend to other children's book authors?
I wouldn't say that it's easy. It's time consuming. You have to basically do the entire thing by yourself, the whole process by yourself. So you also have to do a lot of research to know what the process is and what to do first, second, third, the steps. You don't want to do things, back ways and get yourself in problems. So it took a lot of time for me to actually just do the research to figure out that process before I was even able to publish the book.
So your recommendation to anybody would be to do self-publishing as well?
Well, I like self-publishing because I like the freedom in terms of I work on my own time. I have a deadline that I set for myself and I try to meet.
So are you listed as the publisher on your book?
Yes, I am the publisher.
So listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking to think about getting into self-publishing, you can do it many ways. One of the ways is to be the publisher of your own book. So you list yourself as the publisher. You are the one who's doing all the work and you're the one who is going to get all of the glory, as they say, and all the money too. So, hard work pays off. But there's another way as well. There are self-publishing companies out there who will help. So if you want to go that route, they'll be listed as your publisher on record, but it's your book. 100% your book, right? Unlike traditional publishing, where they may give you an advance and you have to negotiate some of those rights, right? So you're self-published and you did this work yourself and you're listed as the publisher on record. I like that. That must be a proud feeling though, author and publisher, right?
Yes, author and publisher. Yes.
Well, an engineer, geomatic engineer. Don't forget that. I'm feeling like one of those African parents. My daughter is an engineer. Yes. I love that. So, listen, what we've been talking about here today is not just about publishing children's books, but about marketing your children's book, being the publisher of your own book, and using your inspiration, right? Maybe your childhood, maybe some of the dreams you've had as well. Have you ever dreamt of going to the moon? Let me ask. Because you're into STEM and STEAM.
Yes. I don't know if I would say a dream because space is like still a marvel to me. But I'm very curious about that whole concept.
Okay. So this is one, listen, sometimes we have to live vicariously, right? You may never be an astronaut, but maybe you could write a book about being an astronaut, right? In this book, Ella is a little astronaut. And she's heading to the moon in her own makeshift little spaceship. And she's heading out at night. Please, Sharon, don't leave your parents out in the middle of the night. Go somewhere, go in a different room, go in the living room and pretend, okay? It's not safe out there, right? But but no, I love the idea. And while I was growing up, the idea of going out there and being on, striking out and doing stuff, even as a child, it brings you such a measure of joy to feel you have some authority and autonomy over yourself.
Independence.
Yes. Independence, don't start me. So we love that. Listen, we're wrapping up today, guys, and we love that you were here with us. Thank you for being with us here on Book Club Corner. Whether you were watching from Trinidad and Tobago, Bahamas, Curacao, Dominica, wherever in the Caribbean you are, or even in the wider world, right? Globally, internationally, you are watching or will be watching later on. We want to thank you for being here with us, but check in every Wednesday right here, beautiful Scarborough, Tobago, right in the Tobago Update Studio in Portmore, where every Wednesday we will be chatting with another author or publisher or bookseller, right, about what's happening in the literary world, about their experience, sharing more insights with you. And we want to thank you for being here with us. Cheers to you.
Yes. 3 cheers.
Thank you. Debbie Ann Wiley, ladies and gentlemen, talking about her book, Voyage to the Moon. And check back with us. We have our own YouTube channel. Next week, we are going to be chatting with Kimberly James, and she is a published author, and her book is what is it? Things we don't admit. And we will have her here next week chatting with her. But if in the meantime you've missed anything, check our YouTube channel. That's Book Club Corner on YouTube. And all our episodes, every author we've ever interviewed is there. And find us on Instagram and on Facebook. If you need, reach out to me. If you'd like to be a guest, you've written a book, you'd like to be a guest, on our Facebook page, we have the link. We also have the link on our Linktree. You could find us in many, many ways. Call and we will organize for you, right? So thank you again for being here and see you next week, Wednesday, right here on Book Club Corner.